Morning in North Wales today, in a quiet part of North Wales actually. It's hard to say where it is actually. It's between the Moelwyns and Beddgelert, and I've never actually been to this part before, but it's full of gnarly knobbly mountains and gnarly knobbly trees, so this is a kind of wander about this. I may get up to go up Cnicht, which is part of the Moelwyns, but we'll see. It's a kind of mixed weather really. You can't make up your mind what it's going to do. I drove through some really sort of dull weather, and I drove through some really sunny weather, but it's kind of a mixture at the moment. I'm rather hoping that the sun wins out. But anyway, let's crack on. It's going to be a bit of an adventure this, because it's fairly pathless, yeah, let's see how we get on. There's a steep pull up to begin with, and this is going up through a kind of North Wales speciality, which is oak woodland. And this one isn't particularly gnarly. They must be relatively young species, but they're a real feature of the quieter parts of North Wales, and they're an absolute delight. Well, out of the oak woods and into the birch scrub, and passing some wonderful gnarly old rocks here. Yeah, big quartz band in it. Yeah, the rocks are quite interesting around here. I'm following a kind of path of sorts. It is marked on the map, but it stops round here, so I'm anticipating today, until I go onto the Cnicht Ridge, I'm anticipating today is going to be navigating by the lie of the land. And that's going to be quite tricky because, as I say, these mountains are particularly knobbly. A little range of volcanic stuff. The path sort of goes down there. Lazy fellow that I am, I don't want to go down and lose all that height, so I'm going to leave the path at this point and take to all this knobbly gnarly rock, because up there somewhere is Gnarly, which is my kind of destination. But yeah, it's going to be a kind of gnarly scramblette really, so let's see how we get on. Very little structure in this rock, so no kind of layers or anything, but there is, however, lots of little knobbles entrapped in it. So as it's igneous, and I can't know that from looking it up, what that indicates is that this is a pyroclastic flow frozen in time. Magnificent. In fact, just looking at this piece of rock here, it's even more smooth with even more knobbly bits in it. thing it is to pad up. Nice easy angle. Fairly challenging. Best find a way around the side, I think. That's the top of one heathery knobble. There are plenty more around here, but that's the kind of idea, really. Oh, I've just seen some geese flying over there as well. And that was quite enjoyable, really. Got a lot of pulling up on heather and bilberry and whatnot, but a little bits of scrambly stuff was all right. Oh, that's the that knobble in the picture there was is what I hope to do this afternoon, but I may or may not do it because moving around in this kind of terrain is really slow, and it's not the kind of place you want to hurry anyway. You know, it's the beauty in a place like this is in the detail as well as the other views. The views of surrounding bigger hills are stunning. But, yeah, it's typical. I just had to descend that down a fissure, which is the kind of thing you get in ex-lava flows. Oh, that's Cnicht hoving into sight. From some views, especially from the south, it's known as the Matterhorn of the Moelwyns. However, from the north and from some, you know, from the sides and stuff, it hardly looks very prominent at all. But it's a smashing hill actually, so hopefully we'll be going up that. But around here, it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful wilderness feel here. I had a feeling it might be, and so it is. You know, the landscape's really rocky, and there's no one around. There's hardly any, well, there's no paths. So it's fantastic. So, yeah, a day to savour, I think. The other thing to say about this place is, because it's all impervious volcanic rock, it's kind of lake bejewelled. place to be. There's not a breath of wind here. You can hear that. There's a cuckoo down there. And the toot of the North Wales Narrow Gauge Railway as well. That smashes absolutely nobody here. I bet it's heaving on on Snowdon. But, yeah, so this is the summit of Gnarly. It's not actually the highest point here. The highest point here is Beddgelert, which I'm going to go to next. Wonderful rockscape here. Well, I'm finding my way through said rockscape. Yeah, back in the Ordovician, I can't remember how many million years ago that was, hundreds of million years ago, North Wales was like the Caribbean is today. It was it and the Lake District were volcanic islands set in an arc. So hence there was lots of pyroclastic flows, and the magma and the lava was infused with water, so there'd be very spectacular volcanoes, just like they are in the Caribbean today. And yeah, so now we're padding around it. Of course, an awful lot's happened in the few 100 million years since the Ordovician, and these lava flows formed, not least glaciation in the relatively recent geological past. And that's what that was, a glacial erratic, something that's dropped out of the bottom of a glacier as it's melted, probably transported from somewhere entirely different. That's a Canada goose saying, "Lordy, lordy, there's a bloke over there." Fascinating. They're actually going mad there and swimming towards me. The old wildfowlers used to use special ponds that they constructed called duck decoys or geese decoys, and they'd send a dog there, and the geese or ducks would swim towards the dog to kind of watch what it was doing, whereupon the wildfowlers could shoot them, which is okay. I don't do that, but yeah, interesting to see their behaviour though. But yeah, what a wonderful thing though, isn't it? A cry of wild geese in a wild place like this. It's fantastic. Yep, they're coming to get me. Right up to the shore now, the shore where I was. Fantastic. So me walking away, hopefully that'll have restored their faith in themselves to be able to chase off those pesky humans. Well, either that or they spend most of their time on a municipal park lake and they're used to being fed, but hey ho. Yeah, the bog cotton's out. Mind you, it's as dry as a bone today, so we're at the end of, well, I think we're at the end of a dry spell. So I deliberately chose this now, sort of late spring, after a long dry spell, because this place is notorious for being boggy and for ticks. So I wanted to come out before the bracken was unfurled, which I just see some of it starting to. Because, yeah, nasty little blighters, ticks, look like little spiders. So you think, oh, it's a little spider, and it's not. And trust me, well, I've never had it, so thankfully I don't know. I've never had a tick, thankfully. But reading some of the tales of Lyme's disease, you really don't want that. I remember coming down from the Moelwyns one time. I saw this lady ticketing the cars. I thought, oh no, I'm going to get done for parking or something. But anyway, I got chatting to her, and she was putting cautionary labels on the car windscreens about Lyme's disease and the prevalence of ticks in this area. So, yeah, treat with caution. Yeah, just to add, she did say her daughter had it for about 10 years and showed no signs of recovering. And it was a bit like what we know ME to be. Fatigues, muscle aches, pain, couldn't hold down a job, you know. Really nasty thing. You do not want Lyme's disease. Oh, that's where we're going. So, the plan is to go up that shoulder that points to Cnicht. However, there's quite a few knobbles in the way between here and there, so let's kind of crack on, but in a slow, knobbly kind of way. here, but it's not. There's bits of paths worn down, only little bits, but yeah, I got a relatively steep bit of the shoulder leading up to the bottom of Cnicht, which is next. Entirely different rock here. You see, it's got a structure in it. It's all blades and plates, very slaty. So this is a bit of metamorphosed seabed, which you'd expect in a volcanic island. Basically, the magma and the volcanic plumbing cooks the mudstones and the slate and the shales on the seabed. So hence you've got a North Wales slate industry. Well, this is the buttress of Cnicht. There's a number of ways up. You can go around the side, or you can make a kind of direct ascent, if you wish, up a little gully here, which is where I'm going to go. Well, I don't know whether that came out, but typical wonderful North Wales spiky scramble, absolutely brilliant, holds everywhere. Well, it's not difficult anywhere, but if you come up to the very crest, you can artificially make it a little bit more difficult. It's not difficult, I assure you, but yeah, really enjoyable though. It's lovely to get that bit of hands on rock. it's a shame it's hazy today because the views from around here are really stunning. They won't work too well on film, but it's a sort of hazy, mysterious beauty you've got here. It's kind of right in the centre really. You can see all sorts of bits of North Wales and you're not especially high, so you seem to be amongst it rather than over the top of it, which you are if you're up Snowdon itself. But smashing today though. Wow, nice spot for some lunch. I would have said this was the real summit of Cnicht, but looking at it when I was up through previously, perhaps not, but who cares? The views are stunning and I'm hungry. Heading up to Moel Mierch, which I suspect is going to be the last hill of the day. I'm knackered. I've only done 10k, it's hardly any distance at all. But I think scrambling over and kind of clambering through heather, bilberry and bog saps your strength, or I'm just a knackered old fart. Either way, it'll be interesting to see what happens when you get to the top of Moel Mierch, because the last time I was here, the only one time I've been here, I couldn't manage to get on top of the summit block, which is quite tricky, so we'll see. Oh, that's the summit block. It looks surprisingly innocuous from here, but it's surprisingly hard to get on. Does that count? There you go, look. My foot on the top of the block. Yeah, so you approached it from the other side. I seem to remember not being able to approach it from the other side the last time. Who knows? Anyway, what a wonderful rocky place this is. It's just fantastic. It's not high at all. You look across to Snowdonia over there, and yeah, it's not high whatsoever. But what a wonderful rocky place, and all to myself, fantastic. So that's the view from the easy side. Well, I've got a wonderful seat with a backrest in amongst all this wonderful rock scenery, and I'm going to have a banana and a satsuma, and then I'm going to go down, and unfortunately I have to walk down a road. My grand plan was to walk up some more knobbly things on the other side of the valley, but I'm too knackered, so to walk down the road, but it's an uber quiet road, so that should be alright. Down there in the valley, you probably can't make it out in the camera, but you can see the mound of Gnarly, where legend has it that the white dragon of England and the red dragon of Wales are locked in mortal combat and held there by the spell cast by Merlin Emrys, who is better known to us English as Merlin. Absolutely wonderful. The gnarly oak woods. Oh, I'm back down on the road now, and I don't know, a couple of miles, something like that, 2.5 miles, maybe 3 miles. I don't think it's as far as that. Anyway, what a cracking day. I'm completely knackered now. I had grand plans to go over another hill over there, but I've got no more hills in me today. I've been going for about 7 hours or so, a little bit less than that, but so that's long enough. However, just superb today. It's a superb, wild place. This definitely worth a revisit. Yeah, so that'd be nice if I can see if I can get a pint on the way home, but we'll see. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it, and catch you in the next one.